Hello everyone and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be working on a population dataset using Python. I'm going to show you how to locate null values, and then I'm going to show you how to fill those null values. So basically, this is part of data cleaning process that we're going to be seeing together. After that, I have about 15 questions or something like that we're going to answer together to get to know our dataset. So this is a beginner-friendly project. And later on, maybe next week, in another video, I'm going to be making another part of this analysis, and it's going to be intermediate. So if you're just in the beginning to learning about Python, this video is right for you. I'm not going to be doing any editing for this video because I want you to see like the kind of problems we will have when we're writing our code, and I will show you how to fix them. Just know that it's okay to make mistakes, and everyone makes them. Even experts make like really silly mistakes, but don't worry about that. Python will tell you where you went wrong and everything. So let's get started. I'm going to open my Jupyter notebook first. So let's go ahead and open a new notebook. And let's give it a name. Let's call it population dataset for beginners. So let me just insert a few cells. You can do that by pressing the letter A. This is going to save us some time. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to import our Pandas library. So in this video, we're going to be working only with Pandas because it's for beginners, obviously. And in the next videos, we're going to expand our libraries. So for now, let's just stick with Pandas. So import Pandas as PD, execute. Next, we have to upload our dataset. So let's call this dataset population. I'm sorry. Let's call this population data equals pandas.read underscore CSV, open brackets, and my file is on the desktop. So whatever you saved the word population Excel file, just go to that and one click on the right, properties, security, and let's just copy this file path. Just copy it, and we're going to paste it right here. And don't forget to add a small r right here, because if you don't, it's not going to work. So this star that you saw, wait, what happened? Okay, so this is our first issue. So apparently this file path has some kind of hidden characters. Let's try and just copy this part. I've never tried this before, but let's see if it's gonna work. Okay, it actually worked. Let's print population dataset, and here it goes. So we have a bunch of columns, and we have 234 rows. We have the rank of the country, the code, the actual country, the capital, continent, and then we have the population from 1970 till 2022. We have the area in kilometers squared. We have density per kilometer squared, and then we have growth rate, and lastly we have world population percentage. So my prime goal for this video is to find the null values. So we're going to first check for null values. And this is pretty simple. We're just going to use the is_NA method or is_null method. I mean, you can pick whatever you want, but for just this part, I'm going to use the is_NA. So missing values equals population data dot is_NA, and don't forget to add the dot sum. Let's print this. So we can see that we have a few missing values in each column. And we're going to start filling them one by one. But first of all, let's display the rows where the missing values are located in the first column, which is 2022 population. So display the rows where missing values are in 2022. Let's name this rows with missing 2022. So this equals to population data dot log. We're going to use the log function because we want to get back the exact rows where the missing values are. Population data, then we have to mention our column, which is 2022 population, and then dot is_NA. So this will return the rows with the missing values. And here we go. So we have 4 missing values. And now we're going to fill them. Now to fill the missing values, just to make it easy, I've already done my research and I made this document with all the missing values. So all you have to do is just copy and paste these values. So let's start by this first row. We're still going to use the log function because we can tell Python the exact row we want to work on. So population data dot log population data. Then we're going to specify the country, which country we're going to be filling. So the column is country. So the first country with the null value is Eswatini. Then after mentioning the country, we have to mention the column which are missing values in. So in this case, it's 2022 population. And then we're going to write the value of the 2022 population, which is here. So I'm just going to copy and paste it. And here we go. We're going to do the same thing to the next country, which is Norway. So I'm just going to copy this. So here is going to be Norway. And then population. So for Norway, it's this value. Let me check if this is recording because I've already recorded this 3 times and I was having some trouble with the audio, so I had to record it again. Okay, let's move on to the next row. So the next row is Palau. I'm not sure if this is how to say it, but and the value, oops, and the value is this one. Oh, the population is really not that much. And lastly, we have Timor-Leste. This should be in Southeast Asia, this country, next to Indonesia. So the population in 2022 is 1 million something. And here it is. So let's execute this. And let's check if this actually worked. So to call back these exact columns, we're still going to use the log function. Let's see how it is done together. .log. Then we're just going to mention the index number for each row. So we have 62, comma 154, comma 157, comma 207. Let's print this. So as you can see, the 2022 population, they have been filled. And now we can move on to the next column, which is 2020. So let's use the same method. We just change the numbers here. Equals population, oops, population data dot log, population data column 2020 is an A. Let's print this. So we only have one missing value here. And let's fill it by taking the average of 2015 and 2022. This is probably not going to be accurate, but I'm just trying to show you the different method that we can use to fill the missing values. So first, let's get this value first, and then we're going to get this value, Then we're going to take the average of the two of them. So first of all, let's say, I'm going to copy the name of this country because I don't know how to spell it. So Azerbaijan 2015 population equals to, so this row, we get it from here, right? So row with missing 2022. Then we're interested in column 2015. And then we're going to use the .ilog method 0 because we want this exact value only. We're going to do the same thing with 2022. Let's just remove this. 2022. Now we want to get this value. So again, rows with missing 2020. Here we're going to mention the 2022 column and then .ilog. So here we're going to calculate the average. Calculate the estimate value for 2020. So as 2020 estimate equals, let's open parentheses, equals Azerbaijan 2015 plus Azerbaijan 2022 population, and then we're going to divide this by 2. And let's run this. Now it's time to fill. Now we're going to fill the column. Fill the missing value. Okay. Fill the missing value with the estimate value calculated. So population data .log population data. The country is Azerbaijan equals. Okay. Then the column we're going to fill is 2020 population. And then it equals to Azerbaijan 2020 estimate. Okay. So this should have worked. Now let's let's get back this row so we can check if it actually worked. Population data .log 13 2020. Yes, and here it is. So we've successfully filled the missing value in 2020 population. Let's check the rest of the columns. Population data is NA sum population data. I want to see only the columns that has null values greater than 0. So I'm not interested to see the columns with no null values. Dot is an A dot sum. Then here I'm going to specify greater than 0. That's oops. Okay, so I made a small mistake. This is what I meant by silly mistakes. So instead of S, I wrote A. Let's just fix that. And here it is. So the next column is 2015 population. Let's locate these rows. So missing 2015 equals, or let's give them the same name so I don't, because I don't want to, okay, rows with missing, because I don't want to, I want to keep things organized. I'm just going to, oops, just going to change the names here. Equals to population data dot log population data. Our column is 2015 population dot is an A. So this is going to return the rows with the missing values. Let's print this. 2015, and here we go. So we're going to use the same method we used the first time to fill these. I already have the values in this document, so you can use it. I'm going to attach it in the description. And let's get started. So population data dot log population data. This time let's do it with capital instead of country, just to change things a bit. Capital equals to, so our first capital is this one, Malibu, and then our column is 2015 population. Remember not to make mistakes with the column names. You have to respect the upper letters and the lower letters. And then we're going to write our value. Let's copy it. Okay. So this is for the first country. I should know that you cannot use the continent column here, because the capital, all the values in the capital column are unique, but not for the continent, because we have many values, many capitals in the continent Africa, so we cannot use Africa. It's going to mess up the data set. We can also use the rank, or you can use the, the rank, or maybe the code, yes. But you cannot use the continent. Let's copy this and paste it here to make things. Okay, let's come here and use this column instead. So what is it? C. Okay, so It's Mozambique, and the country code is this one. And let's get our value. Paste it here. Okay, so next we have Norway. Let's get third value. And now the last one is Zambia. This is the country code. And let's get the value. So this is the final one for 2015. Let's go ahead and print. So population data dot log. Let's write the indexes 59, 139, 154, 232. Let's print it. So 2015 is right here. As you can see, we've successfully filled the missing values. So now we don't have any missing values. So let's check our next column. Let's copy this again. Okay, so next we have the 2010 population. Let's go ahead and locate. Sorry, excuse me. Let's go ahead and locate the rows with the missing values. So rows with missing values for 2010 equals to population data dot log population data. Our column is 2010, right? Yeah, 2010 population dot is NA. Let's print the rows, and here we go. Okay. Let's use another method for this column. So the method I want to use is by making a dictionary. Okay. You will see in a second what that is. So let's call it population values. (2010) equals. So to start our dictionary, we have to start with curly bracelets. Curly brackets. I'm sorry. Okay. So we're going to mention the country, and then we're going to mention next to it the value of that country in the column 2010. So let's just start, and then I'm going to explain it step by step. So our first country here is Colombia. So we have Colombia, and then we have to get 2 dots, and then we're going to mention the missing value here for this column, which I already have, of course, in the document. So for Colombia, this is the value. It's just basic, and then we have to add a comma right here because we still have another line coming in. So the next country is Gambia. Two dots. and then let's get the value. Paste it here, comma. Next we have Georgia. And the value for Georgia is comma. Now I'm just going to copy my values and paste them. But for you, it will be better if you keep writing it, because the more you write it, the more you're going to remember it. So for me, I just want to copy these just to save time. So the last line, you can't add a comma. You will add a comma only if there is another line coming. But once you finish writing the dictionary, there's no comma at the end. So this thing we call an item, okay? And we're going to give them a name. This part of the item is the country, and this part we're going to name it population value. So we're going to write for country and population value. So this is country, this is population value, okay? In population value is 2010. Dot items. Oops. Now we're going to fill these values into our column right here. So population data dot log, population data, country. So when the country in this column, it equals to any of these, which we named country right here. So when the country name is equals to country, in the 2010 population column, then the value will be equals to the pop value, which is this. So if the country here is equals to Colombia, it's going to return this. If the country in this column is equals to Malaysia, it's going to fill this with this value. I hope this is clear. Pop value. So now let's execute this. I already executed it. Let's print the rows again to check if they have been properly filled. So population value, population data dot log. Let's mention our row indexes. So we have 42, 72, 73, 122, 123, 139, and 195. And here we go. Okay, they've all been filled, as you can see. Okay, let's check the next column. Should be 2000 population. Okay, so next we have 2000 population column. Sorry, let me drink some water. And some coffee as well. Okay, so next let's locate the missing values in the 2000 population column. as we've done before. Let's give it a name first. Rows with missing 2020 equals to population data dot log population data. Our column is 2000 population dot is an A. Let's print the rows. Here we go. So you can see they're all NaN. Now let's fill them with the same method as we did right here before this. So let's call this population values for the year 2000 equals. Let's open our dictionary. And then we have, again, the first country is Gambia. Just copy, paste, 2 dots, and we'll get the value for 2020. So this is it. Paste it here, comma. Next country is Georgia. Paste it here. 2 dots, and let's get our value. It's here, and comma. Now I'm going to copy the values because I don't want to keep typing, but please, for you, just continue to write this on your own. Okay. And remember, there's no comma in the last line. So as we did before, for country and pop value in population value 2000 dot items, we have population data dot log population data. Sorry about this. Population data. Our column is country. We want to specify the country. When it equals to the country in our dictionary, in the 2000 population column, we're going to fill it with pop value. Okay. Now let's print this. Population data. I don't want to use the same method to print this because I don't want to keep writing the index numbers. So I'm just going to do .log population data and country dot is in population values 2020 2000 I mean. Let's print this. So this is the 2000 column, and you can see that they have been filled also. So next, let's see, the next column. It should be 1990. Yeah. Let's just make sure that everything is going all right by checking this again. Yes. Now let's call back the rows for 1990 dot log population data column 1990. Oops, what just happened? Oh, my numbers are off. Okay, 1990 sorry about this. (1990) population. I'm not sure why it's doing this, but okay. Dot is an A. Let's print this. Oops. Incomplete input. Oh yeah, didn't close the other one. Okay. So these are the rows. Okay, why am I getting this format? I don't like this format. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. So let's go ahead and start with our 1990 population. So let's create our dictionary. Let's name it population values 1990 equals. So we're going to start with Gambia again. 2 dots, and let's get the value. So this is 2000, 1990. This is the value and comma. Now I'm going to copy the rest of the values. Okay. Again, it's using the same method for country and for country pop value in population values 1990 dot items. We have population data dot log population data, our country name equals country, our column is 1990 population, it will equals to pop value. Now let's print our rows. Population data dot log population data country dot is in population 1990. Let's print this. Okay, so as you can see, they have also been filled successfully. Let's make sure, and then move on to the next column. Whoops, no, this isn't what I wanted. I want this one. Okay, so next we have 1980 population. Let's locate the rows. Population data dot log population. Oops. Population data 1980, right? 1980 population dot is NA. So these are our rows. So it's almost 1 hour to this video. So let's call it population values for 1980 equals from the dictionary. Let me just copy these, paste them. Okay. And for country, pop value, I made a mistake. Let's change this a bit. Maybe it will help you understand better. So let's change the item names. Let's call this part, let's call it territory. Okay, territory. I think I spelled that wrong. Let me check. Territory. Territory. Okay. And then let's call this, just call it population. In, so this is, we called it territory, and this we call it population. In population values 1980 dot items. So let's fill population data dot log population data. So when the country is equals to territory, which is this, in our column, what is it again? 1980 population, then the value will equals to population, which is this, which are these values. Okay, now let's check our rows. Population data dot log population data country dot is in population values 1980. Let's print this. So 1980, and here we go. It has been successfully filled. Okay. Let's get back our null values again. Let's print it. Okay. We only have 4 columns more left. So next we have the 1970 population. Population data. Let's get back the rows. Dot log population data, and our column is 1970 dot is NA. So these are the rows where we have the null values here. Let's fill them. Population let's just change this. 70 equals to open dictionary, and I'll just copy my values from here. Okay. So for country population value in population values 1970 dot items, we have population data dot log population data country equals to country in our column 1970 population equals to pop value. Let's print the rows. Population data dot log population data country dot is in population 1970, and here we go. 1970 has been filled. Okay, I think we have 3 columns left. Okay, let me drink some water. Let me check if the audio is still going. Okay, that's good. That's really good. I'm really scared of it messing up like it did yesterday and the day before. Actually, yesterday I filmed it twice, only to find like in some parts there was no audio. I'm not sure why, but anyways. What do we have next? So now we have to fill the area. So missing area equals population data column area dot is an A. Missing area. So we have 2 rows with missing column with missing values right here. Let's go ahead and fill them. I also have the values right here. Let's go ahead and fill them. So population data dot log population data. Let's specify the country. Country equals to, Senegal, our column area, just copy it, will equal to this value. And our second line. So we have the country is Venezuela. Let's place this. And let's get the value. And let's print the lines, the rows. Population data dot log. Population data. A column is area. Is an dot is an A. Let's see if, and it's empty, so that means we've already filled these values. Now I think, what is the next one? Okay, so it's density. Let's population data dot log population data density dot is an A. So we have 4 missing columns. This part is going to be a little bit tricky. We're still going to use the dictionary method, but it's going to be like a dictionary inside a dictionary. But this is really good for you to practice these things. Because for the density, what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide the area by the 2022 population. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's call it countries info. Okay, so this equals to, and let's start our first dictionary. This is the main dictionary, and then inside this dictionary is going to be another dictionary. So for the country Ivory Coast, then here we're going to open the next dictionary. We have population it's the exact same way. You just have to focus when you're doing this. So population is, for this country, is this. Okay. Then comma. Then the second part is the area. 2 dots. And the area for 2022 is this. The area is for the country Ivory Coast is this. But here we're not going to add a comma because this is the last of our dictionary, the mini dictionary. So let's add a comma here because this is the last line for this dictionary. But this is just the first line for the first dictionary. So we must add a comma right here. Then we move on to the next one. So we have Jamaica. And 2 dots. Open the small dictionary. Again, we have, let's just copy and paste this. It's the same. Just going to change the values inside it. So for Jamaica, the population was this. And the area okay, comma, because we still have 2 more countries to go. Let's copy this again. So next we have Senegal, change the country. The population is this one. And the area, and lastly, okay, I forgot the comma. And then lastly, we have the last country. Actually, they are not on the same. Make sure they are all on the same line. Okay, so the last country is Trinidad. So the population is here, and the area of this country is so small. Okay, now we're done. We're done with dictionary, but not with fill in the values. So let's see. Now let's calculate the density for these countries. Okay, so for country info in countries info dot items we have density equals to this part. No, actually, this part divided by this part. Okay, so density equals, I'm sorry, actually it's population divided by area. Okay, equals info population divided by info area. Okay. So here we are just calculating the density. We're telling Python how to calculate the density for these countries. Next, let's go ahead and fill the columns. So fill in the null values. Okay. So population data. The column we're interested in is density. So this column equals to our new column. It's kind of a new column. So because it will be with all filled values, there will be no null values in this column. So it will equals to population data dot apply. Now we will write our function to fill the values. So we're going to use the lambda function. So for each row, here's what we're going to do. Okay. For row in 2022 population, we will divide it by row of the area. Let me copy the name of the column. Area if. So we're telling Python to divide the population 22 the 2022 population by the area if we're given it a condition. If this condition is true, then divide this row of the population in 2022 by the row by the area. If PD is an A, in the row let me copy the column density per kilometers. Okay, so we're telling Python to divide the value in 2022 population by the area if the density in that row is null, is empty. So this is our condition, our first condition. And not PD is, I think there's no need for this because we already know that the other values are already not null. So else row density access equals 1. So if the row is empty, we're going to apply this. We're going to divide. But if the row already has a column or just has a value, we're just gonna keep it as it is. Let's run this. And now let's check if we actually filled these columns. Let's check. Okay, it's empty. That means we've already filled the columns. Let's check these rows. Population data dot log. Let's write so we have 100, have 101, 183. We have 211. Where is it? Density. Okay, so we have filled them properly. Okay. Now we have the last column. We only have one column left, I think, growth rate. Yes. Let's just fill this column with the mean. So this is another method that we're going to use. So population data, the column is growth rate. I'm going to use the fill NA function, dot fill NA. With the mean of population data, growth rate dot mean. And let's add in place equals true. Now let's check this again. This should have worked. Okay, no, we don't have any missing values. So that's great. Now let's start getting to know our data set. So first thing we can do is we can find out how many countries are there. So how many countries are there? The data set. So to do this, we're going to use the anyUnique function. Sorry. Population data. The column we're interested in is country because we want to know how many countries there are. Country dot n unique. So we have 234 countries. Okay. Let's check our columns now. Let's see. What are the columns present in our data set? So let's turn the column names into a list, and we're going to do that by very simple function, population data dot columns dot to list, and we have our column names, as you can see here. Next, let's go ahead and display the first 10 rows. I want to check the audio again if it's working. Okay, it's already 1 hour. Okay, it's working. That's great. So to display the first 10 rows, we're going to use the head function, population data dot head, and we're just going to write 10 because we want 10 rows. And here we go. Next, let's get the last 10 rows. So to do that, it's very similar to the first one, population data, but we're going to use the tail function. So the tail gets us the bottom and the head gets us the head. 10. Here we go. So the last one we have Zimbabwe. Next, let's let's find the population in 2022 for Japan, let's say. So find the population of Japan in 2022. Okay. Let's see. So we're going to use so population data. Population data. Country equals Japan. So this is our country. And then we're interested in the column 2022. 2022 population. And we're going to write dot values 0. So this will give us the exact value. And here it is. Now let's list all the countries in Europe, for example. List all countries in Europe. So this is very simple. Population data. Population data. Our Europe is a continent, so we're going to be looking into continent column. Then it equals to Europe. And let's print this. Here we go. So you can see all this is Europe. Okay. If we want to get a more beautiful output, maybe less columns, we can just specify the columns we want. So let's say we just want to see the country column. It's basically the same, but we're just going to add the column we're interested in. So let's say we want to see country. Let's do this. And here it is. If we want to see country and population, we can just comma and then let's say 2022 population. It's the same thing, but just here, because we have more than one column, we have to add one more brackets like this. And here it is. This is more organized and more good to see, I think. Okay. Let's find the average population density for all countries. So let's make it what is the average density. Okay, so population data, then the column is density and dot mean. It's very simple, very clear. Okay, here it is. Maybe we can find the maximum area. Okay, so what is the maximum area. We can do this by using the max function, population data. We're interested in the area column, dot max. Here it is. If we want to know which country has this maximum area, we can, well, there are two ways that we can do it. So we can change this to just add IDX in front. So this gives us the index. But if we do this and population data dot log, this will give us the actual line. So we have Russia. Of course, it's Russia. There's also another way. We can do it another way. Let's give this a name first. So let's call this max area equals. Okay. So we can do it like this. Population data. Population data. Our column is area. Dot is in. Then we will specify this. So it's in max area. Max area. Okay, I didn't execute this one. Okay, what's going on? Is in uPaste float. Okay, this forgot these. Okay. There you go. So this is the row Russia, Moscow, Europe. Now let's filter these countries and let's find how many countries, for example, have the population greater than, let's say, 50 million. So let's see. How many countries have the population greater than 50 million? Okay, number of countries over 50 million equals population data then we're interested in, let's say in 2022. So 2022 population is greater than 50 million. And let's print this. And here we go. So these are the countries that are greater than 50 million. And let's find out how many there are. So number of countries dot and unique. And there are 29 countries. Or if we don't want to get this whole list here, we can specify the country column right here. And we get the exact number. Let's see. Let's next. I want to show you how to create a new column. So let's say we want to see the population change from 2020 to 2022. So let's create a new column that shows us the population change from between these 2 years. So create a new column for population change from 2020 to 2022. So to do this, we're going to first mention our dataset. Then we're going to write our new column name. So we call it population change. It equals to, in parentheses, population data, column 2022, minus population data, column 2020. So if we print our data set again, population data dot head, let's just get the first two lines. Let's see if we have a new column. Okay, we do have a new column. So this is our new column. Let's find the most populated countries. To find the most populated countries, we first have to, the 5 most populated countries in 2022. We have to first of all sort the data set by value. We have to sort the values by the 2022 population, and then in descending order. So first, let's sort the data. So sorted population equals, wait, let me write the actual question. So I said I want to find the 5 most populated countries in 2022. So first we have to sort the data. Sorted population equals to population data dot, we're going to use the function sort values. It's pretty easy. Sort underscore values, then open parentheses by equals, going to sort them by the 2022 population column, and since it's going to be in descending order, we have to write ascending equals false. Ascending equals false. Let's print this sorted population. Let's see. Okay, so we have the rank. We can see the rank. China is number 1, India is number 2, United States is number 3, Indonesia 4, Pakistan 5, and so on. But to get the top 5, just the top 5, we have to. Okay, wait. I really don't like this format, so let me change this first. Okay, so to change the format, pd.set option, display dot float format, comma, dot to f dot format. Okay, so this will give us the float format. To find the five most populated countries in 2022, you just have to get the first 5 of this sorted population. So sorted population dot head, then 5. So here it is. We have the first 5. Now, if we want to find the bottom 5 countries, yeah, this thing keeps popping up and I'm not sure what it is. Okay, so if we want to find the last 5, we're going to use tail instead, as we saw before. Tail. Here it is. So the last country is the Vatican City, with how many people? With only 510 people. And it looks like this country is going down from 752 in 1970 to 510. Yeah, they're reducing in number. Let's filter this data again by density. Let's find countries with population density greater than, let's say, 500 per kilometer. Yeah, let's say that. Okay, so filter countries with a population density greater than 500 per kilometer. I think the 0178, no, 01, yes, 0, anyways. So to do that, let's name it high density countries equals population data. And then we're going to specify our density column is greater than 500. Let's print this. Okay. Oh, there are so many. Aruba? Oh, I've never heard of this country before. Bahrain, Bangladesh, Barbados, Bermuda. I see. Let's see how many of them are there. Okay. dot and unique. 27 countries. Let's find the average growth, let's say for Asian countries. Okay, find the average growth in Asian countries. So first we have to get the Asian countries first. So Asian countries equals population data. So Asia is a continent, so obviously we're going to, continent equals Asia. So these are the Asian countries. Okay, and then the average growth will equal to Asian countries column growth rate. Let me just copy the name. Growth rate dot mean. Let's print the average. So it's 1.009. What's next? I think we've reached the end of this video. I'm going to, it's already almost, it's more than an hour and a half, I think. So, okay. This is the first part only. I'm going to be working on a second part, which is going to be a little bit more, not so simple. Stay tuned, I guess. If you want to see next more videos from this channel, just subscribe and like this video, and see you next time.